Greetings and welcome to GlobalSBM Business Talk. Today, we are excited to welcome Mr. Jagrat Jhamb as our guest speaker. Mr. Jagrat is the founder of the brand Folks, which was initiated in 2020 to help individuals and business with their online growth. Mr. Jagrat is Director of Marketing and Branding at Global School of Business Management and has also been part of Global Entrepreneurship Bootcamp since 2018. He was advisor and team lead at Entrepreneurship Cell, Nirma University, India. He had served as advisor at Hult Prize, Nirma University, and community lead at Startup Weekend. Mr. Jagrat is a content marketeer and has been helping business to formulate the right content strategy. Thank you so much, Jagrat, for joining us, and the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Barshu. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And it's always great to be here and talking to people. So, shall I share my screen?
Yes.
Sure. Please let me know if it's visible. Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. So, hello, everyone. And this is building brands people love. And when I say people love, I literally mean. So brands are always loved by someone. So if I ask you, why do you like a particular brand, or why do you like a particular, why do you love a particular brand, you will always find it difficult to explain. But there will be something. Okay, you will name some characteristics, and then you will be like, oh, but yeah, I don't know, I love it. So when we get into the whole marketing setup with any company, any business that we are working with, we are always focused on creating brands that people love, because there's no better emotion that than love to serve. So definitely we'll be talking about the whole session. We'll be talking about how we can build brands that people love. And since it's a digital era, so we'll be taking some digital touch points, and we'll also be talking on content, because that is something that we are really passionate about at TBS. So I'll just begin with a short introduction of mine. So yeah, this is my illustration that we have created. And so all that they have told you, like all that Pashu told about me, yeah, that is there. Then there are a few things about me. So I survive on chole bhature. Basically, that's my favorite dish from India. A lot of you might be knowing it. And then I'm another human being. I'm very erratic. And again, GEV family has seen it very evidently. Then I failed two startups. And very I'll not say I'm that proud of failing, but yeah, because I failed, I could learn a lot of things, and then we founded TBF. Then a lot of my friends say that I'm an amazing listener, so I take that in and I put it here because I had to make a big list of things that I am. And yeah, storytellers. Basically, one of the skills that I learned when I was actually learning to be a good marketer, I would not say good, a decent marketer, then storytelling was something that a lot of people advised me to learn and be better at. And I'm still learning, I'm still in the process, and I guess it's a very long process, and we are into that. Then yeah, we also shoot some of YouTube videos. We'll be very active. So yeah, this is about me. And then major takeaways. So I always like to keep it interesting, keep it interactive. And I know that sometimes sessions go boring, especially when it's online. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. We can connect with people anywhere. So I'll make sure that it's not boring. I'll not make sure that it's very long. And we'll be taking away some marketing mindsets. So it is very important when we are getting into the digital strategy or any marketing strategy. So what are the marketing mindsets, how we can actually look up to those things. Then we'll be looking at the digital perspective of it, and finally the content game. It's like you'll love the content, basically, that I've it includes the whole practical thing that we have learned, we have applied for our clients, and then we have taken, and also there are few things that we have taken from the best in the industry. And then yeah, building for future is one thing that we'll be touching upon. And then finally, things that make sense to me now. with all the work that we have done. So yeah, starting with this particular thing, this is not said by me. So one of my teachers in my school used to say this thing, that if we add something little extra to what ordinary is, you actually make it extraordinary. It does not make sense in the maths perspective or mathematic perspective, but it makes sense to me that if we are doing something extra every day, whatever we are doing extra from our competitors or someone else, we'll always find ourselves towards an extraordinary thing after a long period of time. So it's a long thing, but it made sense to me. So I always include this in my PPTs. Then, so define purpose. I'll begin by starting define purpose. So purpose is something that's bigger than individuals. That is bigger than a group of individuals as well. Purpose is why a company, an organization, or anything in this world exists. So it's bigger than me. Whatever we are doing at the brand books, whatever we are doing at GSBM, whatever we are doing at GEV, whatever any company do. So basically, the purpose is always bigger. And I always used to stare at these vision and mission statements, and I was like, why is it there? Like, so when we started actually getting into it, when we started to learn about purpose, actually, it made more sense to us while defining the marketing strategies as well. So why is something that exists? Why is it there? Why a company is doing a particular task? So defining the purpose is the first and most important thing. Then it's not easy. Yes, definitely, it's not easy. But how can we do it? So asking questions is something that makes our path more clear to actually knowing our purpose or defining purpose for our particular company or our particular marketing objective. Like, what is the purpose of doing marketing? Why are we marketing a particular product, a particular service, or whatever we are marketing? So asking questions: why, what, how, where, who, should I do it? Why should I do it? Why am I doing it? What am I doing? How am I doing? Where am I doing? So all these questions, when you keep asking these questions, you actually come a little bit closer to your purpose. And when I say starting with why, there's this whole very informative, very inspiring talk by Simon Sinek, one of the most watched videos on YouTube, one of the most watched TED Talk on YouTube, to be very clear with it. And he says that companies that makes a difference actually start with why. So what is why? So he defines a golden circle. I don't know how many of you know it. If you know it, that's great. Otherwise, I'll quickly go through it. So there's this whole circle, right? Most of the companies, what they do is they go from what to how to why, right? So we make this product, we make this like XYZ product, we make this product, and we this is how we do it, and this is the purpose that we are serving. So when you pitch your product to anyone, be it marketing or be it you are doing a sales pitch or anything, you will always find your customers, your consumers, or the people that you are talking to, you will always find them confused about what you are doing. And a lot of strong brands actually start the other way. The best example that he gives is of Apple. So Apple is a company that is always sticks to the process of reverse, like starting with why, then going to how. So Apple is like, we have to make products that challenge the status quo, that that makes our product stand out, that makes product that, like, we have to make product that makes life easier, life better. So this is their why. This is their why statement. How we do it? We do it by having a particular technology, integrating the best upcoming technologies in our products. And finally, we happen to make an iPhone. Do you want to buy one? So no matter what product they make, what uh, how they make, what technology they use, the why, the the reason to make products which are challenging status quo, which are standing out, which are making life easier, which are user friendly, will always be there. So they always have to stick to their why, and then the technologies can come and go. The products will always keep changing, but their why will remain same. So that is why companies like Apple succeed in their pitching of product or whatever they are doing in making the product happen. So moving on to the another theory, which is very important and which we actually practice a lot while we are actually designing something. It's the Maya theory. So the MA theory was actually given by the Raymond Louis. He is the person who has designed almost, uh, I guess, he's a design thinker, and a lot of products are designed by him or are based on this particular theory that he gave. And I'll name some of the products that he has designed, so you will be able to connect with them better. But just to make you understand what Maya theory is, there's this whole thing which is Neophilia versus Neophobia. So Neophilia is basically attraction or excitement towards something new, while Neophobia is actually, just hindrance or just sometimes a bit of hesitance, hesis, hesitation towards something new. And uh, Raymond Lewis says that we always have to find the thin gap between both the particular things, both the terms, to actually make products that people love. So it is, the abbreviation stands at most advanced yet acceptable, MAY. So you always tend to design products which are advanced, but which are still acceptable, which people still can belong to. The reason is, the one of the examples again is the Apple products. So whatever they design, they always have the element, they always make sure. And there's this whole research, the whole theory, the whole example of how Apple actually designed it iPods, and it is based on this theory. So this is the thing. And some of the things that this person designed, Air Force One, were designed by him. Shell Oil logo, one of the biggest company. Even the new Coca-Cola products, bottle design was done by him. He also designed cars. He designed locomotives. He designed as simple as the sharpener that we use to actually, sharp our pencils. It was designed by Raymond Louis, right? Apple products are based on his particular theory, the Maya theory. And also, when Airbnb was launched, it was launched as the eBay for homes. See, eBay, people connect to eBay, but homes was something new, so they launched it as eBay for homes. That is how Airbnb was launched. Even when Uber was launched, it was called Airbnb for taxis. So Airbnb was something that people could relate to, and taxis was something that they were dealing in. So this was like giving them something advanced, but yet something that was acceptable. Then finally, algorithm. A lot of algorithms. Like when I talk about these, like algorithms like YouTube algorithm, the Instagram algorithm, the Facebook algorithm, all the social media algorithms work on this. So if you are going on Twitter, let's say, if you are going on, uh, if you are getting a content suggestion on any particular thing, it is because they know what you like and they are showing you things that are new, that you might not have seen, but you actually relate to. So there's always things you might like, videos you might like. So it always goes like this. So algorithms also work on this particular theory. So subconsciously it is there, but we do not identify it. Then we come to ways to build a $1 billion brand. So when I actually, this is not something new that I'm talking about, but when I usually talk about this, people are like, is he really talking about a $1 billion brand? Are we going to build it? So yeah, you will not build it in a day, but this is a process. These are the things that you need to take care of while you are building a brand, right? And online, because a lot of things are happening online, every brand is trying to sell online, and you need to figure out the right balance between the offline and the online thing. So I've listed some ways, some of the things. The first one is define your purpose. I've already talked about why purpose is important, how you can actually get it to purpose. So once you define your purpose, you are more likely to actually get into the doing stuff. Like, you know why you are doing things. All the people, even when you are actually designing stuff for marketing, you are doing a marketing campaign or anything, you always have your purpose in mind. And purpose will be there no matter what team is working on what particular thing. So The first of all is define your purpose, and also define your purpose for marketing as well. Why do you want to market? Like, of course, the hidden objective is always to sell more products, but still, why do you want to do a marketing campaign or actually launch a new thing in a marketing? How, why you want to design something in a particular way? It all relates back to purpose, and we'll see when we'll come to the content part that how it relates to purpose. So give your best for free. This is not something that I say. This is something that Gary Vee, a lot of people might know here, he says. And it is a very controversial statement. So uh, he says that Apple might not give all the products for free, right? Because they are their best products, but they might give it for free to some of them. So they all of these companies send free goodies to influencers because they influence the other buying behaviors, right? So when Apple actually sells its products, or let's say whatever company is actually making mobile phones, they give something for free, right? And it also applies to a lot of content creators, because it's like it is an age where brands are trying to educate more and more people, give freebies. You will see a lot of brands actually just to take your emails, they are giving you something for free, and sometimes it's the best product that they can give as well. So give your best for free. This is something that is controversial, but you need to be very rational and logical behind while thinking what we have to give for free, so and how much we have to give for free. So this is one thing. Then digital is not equal to social. So we need to understand this thing, that when we say we do digital marketing, it's a whole scope, right? And social media is a part of it. There are a lot of things. There's this whole Google thing like that we do. There's this whole email marketing thing. There's this whole SEO thing that we do. Social media is one of those things. So a lot of things. So when people actually go on thinking, okay, we have to make, we have to do digital marketing, or when clients come to us and they're like, we have to do digital marketing, they're like, what will you do? And we are always like, okay, we'll make this. We give them a plan, and they're always like, oh, is there something ahead or something extra from just making accounts on Facebook or Instagram? We thought that it was just Facebook, Instagram, and everything. So it's not just the social accounts, and it's more than it's a bigger space. Social media is just a part of the whole digital space. So you need to have your content game right. You need to have your strategies right when you are designing something and or growing a brand online. So just giving you an example, one of our clients actually are into hotel industry. So they have a chain of hotels in India. And while we started their work, they were like, why we have to post more on Instagram, we have to post more on Instagram, and this a lot of conversation happened for a month. And finally we decided to focus on their Google business profile, the first profile that opens when you search for something. And it worked in a way that their sales went 10 times, their revenue went 10 times when we started working on a very small thing. If we would have pitched them just the social media thing, we would have charged them 10 times, right? But we chose the right thing for them, which was the Google thing, and it actually gave them more sales, better numbers than just what their social media was getting them. So when we talk to them and we are like, okay, we'll not focus on this, we'll focus on this first, they were like, oh, there's something that is like, we thought that it's always about Facebook, Instagram, and something. So digital space is bigger than the social media space. Then you have to master psychology. So a lot of marketing schools actually teach it, and that's great. A lot of you will always find these things written in books as well, and a lot of people talk about these as well. So I've just listed few of the marketing psychologies that you can actually look forward to when you are trying to be a marketer, or when you are trying to build a brand online.
Excuse
So
me, sir.
these are the
So sorry to interrupt you, but the slides are not changing.
okay, it's not changing.
Yes, sir.
Can
And
anybody
now
please
we can see that,
confirm?
sir.
Yeah, is it good
Yes,
now?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
now we are seeing.
Okay, do you want me to get back to the slides?
No, so we can continue.
We can
Okay,
continue. We'll share the slides later.
Sure. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so I have actually gathered some of the marketing psychologies, psychologies that we can use in marketing, which are, which works wonder for clients when they are doing something online. So, social proof. A lot of people actually wanna uh, get into this particular thing. That's why Amazon's show us reviews. That's why we are more likely to believe in someone than just the brand. Someone who we know sometimes. So if Ashu will tell me that, okay, Jagrat, buy this product, I'm more likely to buy that product. So that is why all this referral programs actually happen, and they also the whole review system. A lot of brands actually put up their reviews. They bring in the stories, the success stories, and everything, because we believe in social proofs. We human beings actually, it gives us a sense of trust when we are actually seeing some positives or some negatives or whatever it is. And so that is why social proofing is very important. And a lot of brands, the best one to do it is Amazon, of course. And then anchoring. So the price anchoring thing, it happens a lot. Like we get, a brand actually raises the price a lot, and then they give you a discount, the heavy discount that they say. So it happens that when we are shown a bigger price and then it is reduced for us, we feel positive about it. We are like, oh, we are saving money, but it is actually not, and we all are victim of that. So everybody would relate to it, but yeah, it happens. So when you are actually getting into the other side of it, you need to master this thing, that how you have to anchor, how much you have to anchor the pricing to actually make it, you know to actually make them buy the product. So when we are building brands digitally, you will always see 70% off, 40% off, 50% off, buy two get one free. A lot of brands are doing it, and it's all price anchoring thing that's happening. Risk aversion. So a lot of people are actually scared of taking risk. So if you are actually so a lot of Shopify, Netflix, everybody provides you with a 1 month of free subscription, because we all are very much we always fear the risk of losing our money, let's say, or trusting things up. So that is why all these companies provide us free subscription, so that we get into it, we understand the product, we use it, and then we finally decide on it, and it minimizes the risk and increases the chance of someone buying it. Then Maya, I've already discussed upon Maya theory, and it works wonders as well. And then uncertainty aversion. So we human beings cannot process uncertainty. So we are always anxious about uncertainty, and a lot of times we try to avoid it. So that is why all these food delivery apps show you the time it will take to actually deliver your product. A lot of uh, a lot of delivery sites, let's say, if you're ordering something online, so they'll show you that your package is shipped, your package is in transit, your package is actually, in your city, you will get it by 12 p.m., you will get it by 1 p.m., and it the whole thing is done to avoid this uncertainty. So uncertainty aversion is another one thing that we need to master. Then FOMO, the fear of missing out. So we all have been into this situation where, like, oh, the sale will end at 12 a.m. Oh, this product, there are just five in piece. There are just five. A lot of big brands do it, that they release some of the best products in a very less quantity, so that a lot of people get into the FOMO fight, and just do it because they just don't want to miss a chance of owning that particular thing. So this is one of the things. Then mimetic desire. So we always try to mimic our role models. That is why we see influencers. That is why we see uh, uh, like all the stars, like football stars, cricket stars, film industry stars, actually featuring into those advertisements. So because we have this thing, okay, my role model is using that particular thing. Okay, like I want to be that also, because we believe in them. So when we believe in them, we are more likely to be like them. And that is how this whole influencer marketing works as well. And the whole advertisement industry works on the basis of these influencers, these stars. Then reciprocity. So people are more likely to reciprocate a good behavior. So if you are actually giving them something for free, if you are actually going a mile ahead. So there's a brand called Bewakoof in India which sells t-shirts or quirky t-shirts or and all these things, and they send these goodies with with the brand, with the clothing that you get. And you always feel like, oh, this ended, like this is very cool, this is very happening, this is something like that. And a lot of brands do it. They actually go a little extra mile to actually give you something. So it's always about, when you give it first, you will get it. So it's always about giving first. And when you are actually thinking about your customers, when you are giving something, they are more likely to reciprocate. So this is one of the things. Then social status. We all human beings are some way we are associated. No matter what someone say, that, oh, it does not matter to me, yeah, whatever it is. But we actually look for social status. That is why we put stories on Instagram. That is why Instagram is so successful. We all know that our lives, or people's lives, are not as happening as it is there on Instagram, right? But people put it up there. Whenever we are going somewhere, we always want to show it to someone, right? Why we own things, like, there's this whole thing that the same watch which costs let's say $5, and which costs 500 or $5,000, shows the same time. But it's about a lot of people. I'm not saying that everybody will buy watch just because they want to show off or something. And it's not about show off as well. We feel good about it. So it's catering to the social status. And there's a brand called Cred in India. So they deal in credit card payments. And here, this whole the founder of the Cred, Kunal Shah, he talks a lot about social status. So if you really want to know how you can actually build brands around social status by catering to this human need of showing off, or let's say being happy with the status in a social environment, you should definitely go and listen to his talks. It's amazing. It's He talks a lot about social status. So I'll just move ahead with the content game. So this is my favorite part. And my favorite part, because in even in our company, this is my thing. Like, when it comes to content, I'm always like, okay, yeah, I have to do it. And I'm very excited to make content for all the clients. Like, I design it myself as well for clients. I edit videos for my clients. I go and shoot as well, because I just love it, right? So instead of just putting up a lot of things, what I've done is I've done the note making thing for you. So I know how tiring it is to actually make notes. So I've just had I've just put in everything. I've just put everything in the form of notes, short points that you will always, you can always look forward to. So not everyone is your customer. So when we are making content online, we need to make sure. Now we are moving to the content part. Okay, like, we all know that, okay, this is a digital strategy, everything, and now we are moving to the content part, that how can we actually up our content game? Because no matter where you are going, right, if you are into marketing or not, you will be somehow associated with content with your company. Let's say if you actually go out and start your own company, you'll have to get into it some way or the other. Or if you are actually working in different departments as well, let's say very technical department, let's leave those things, but you will always be around this thing, since you are, everybody is doing masters here in management or something. So you will always be around content is there to stay. So we need to understand that content, not everybody is your customer. So when I say that not everybody is your customer, that then when you are making content, you need to make sure who are you making your content for. So sometimes if you are building, let's say I'm building toys, so someone who is at 40, 50 is not my customer particularly, maybe, you know and if I'm making toys which are expensive, maybe some people, you know above a certain limit can afford those toys. Not everybody is a customer of, let's say, Rolex. Not everybody buys Nike. So you should know, not everyone is your customer, and you have to make content for the people who are your customer, or who can be your customer, or who wanna be your customer. So yeah, the first point is that not everyone is your customer. Then we move to, who are your customers. You have to get into this thing that, okay, this is also called making personas in marketing. You must be doing it in your in your courses, that, okay, this is the kind of person. Okay, where does it stay? What are the habits? What is the buying behavior? How much are they spending? Or what kind of products they like? What is their reaction time to a particular thing? What is their buying time? Let's say if I see a product, it might take me a year to actually buy that product. sometimes, sometimes you're like, okay, I've seen this product, I want to buy it, but I don't know if I want to buy it or not. So I'm very rational about buying things. So it takes me a year, but I'll stick with the brand for a year. So you have to make sure, you have to get into the whole details of finding who are your customers. Then
Jagrat,
consumers versus
sorry to
customer.
interrupt. I feel you've forgotten to change the slide again.
Is it fine?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just stay here. I guess this is better, right?
Yeah.
Now it's changing, right? Okay.
Yes.
So then we get to consumers versus customers. So your consumers might not be your customer. Let's say if I'm making products for kids, they are the consumers, but the customers are their parents who are actually going to buy it. So we have just started working with a client who are uh, selling books for kids. So the kids are the consumers, but their parents are the customers. So when we are making content, we are making sure that we are making content for the customers there, for their parents, because we have to make them understand that your kids need this product. So when we are making content, we actually need to make sure that we are targeting the right audience with the right mindset. So it's very important to have the difference between it. Then where are your customers? So when I say where are your customer, it's not their geographic location, but where are your customers, as in, are your customers more active on LinkedIn? Are your customers more active on Twitter? Are your customers more active on Instagram? So if I have to sell a course, let's say, it's more likely to sell on LinkedIn than on Instagram. I'll not say it's true with each and every case, but it's more likely to sell. Let's say if it's a very professional course for, let's say, for professionals, for industry professionals or something like that, targeting that audience, it's more likely to sell on LinkedIn. So I have to see where are my customers, what are they doing, right, on the internet. So you need to figure out where are your customers. Then content mindset. So what is the mindset you are carrying when you are actually making the content? What are your thoughts? What is something that you are getting onto the plate while you are actually making content for your people? It also serves that you don't have to advertise every time. Like you don't have to go out and sell it to them. You don't have to be like, oh, this is our product, these are the 10 things. Can you actually go around your product? So you will not see Nike going out on Instagram and telling that, okay, we have launched this cool product which is like, which worth like let's say $500 or $5,000. Do you want to buy one? They never say that, right? There you will see them talking about what what change their product brings in your life. So it's about talking the change your content, your product will bring in your people's mind. So, and also, why are you making, why are you making content? So the hidden purpose is always to sell, but still, why are you making content? So do you want to build a brand? Do you want to build a community? Do you want people to know more about things around you? So sometimes the people, like, you must be doing this exercise that, okay, there are different kind of customers. Some of them actually know about your product, some of them don't, some of them understand the problem, some of them don't, and sometimes you have to make them understand the problem. So you need to make sure that what kind of your content is serving to which purpose, right? And then it comes to what is the tone of your content. Is it friendly? It also comes to the brand part of it, that is your brand friendly, is your brand trust, if is your brand building trust, is your brand actually making them happy, is your what emotions basically your brand is actually catering to, and your content should cater the same emotions as well. So content mindset, this is about content mindset. Then what algorithm wants? Algorithm basically wants you to just, because they sell through ads, like they earn through ads. So they want their customers or their consumers are basically people who are watching your content online. So their whole purpose is to make them stay as much as on the applications, so that they spend more time, they can show more ads, then they can earn more money. That's the simple thing. So algorithm, anything that you do, if your content is making them spend more time on the internet, definitely algorithm will help you. And if you know a bit about Instagram or social media and digital marketing, you know that algorithm is a key player. So algorithm helps a lot to actually gain traction, gain more views and everything. So if your content is making them stay, if your content is good enough to make them stay, algorithm will work for you. But there is a catch. Great content doesn't give a it's about algorithm. So we have experienced this whole thing. So we have made videos for our clients and we haven't put a single hashtag. We have made videos of different time. Let's say there are a lot of experts on the, you will find a lot of videos of saying you should make your reels for 15 seconds, you should make your reels for 30 seconds, you should make your reels for 1 hour, sorry, 1 minute. And then they are debating on how long the reel should be, rather than they're not talking about how good the content should be, how to make your content better. So a great content is something that will always work for you. And the algorithm, basically, if it's great and you are not even catering to algorithm, the people will do the work for you. People will share it, people will like it, and eventually the algorithm has to support it, right? So you have to make, like, whenever we get into get on board with any company, any client of ours, it's always about how can we improve the content. So no matter what accounts you are handling, you will always find good content, you will always find the brand tone, you will always find, no matter what the number of followers are. So our purposes are very clear when we are working with a brand, how much time it will take to develop. And we are always of the fact that how can we make content better and better. Then yeah, no content is better than crap content. This is also something that you don't have to essentially make content just to make content. You are not going out there and you are like, oh, I have to post 3 things on Instagram every day, or let's say posting every week on LinkedIn. That's not true. Like, and then if your quality is low, people will eventually not interact with it. When people will not interact with it, algorithm is very good in punishing you, right? If people are not interacting, they'll actually push your content down, not up. So it's better to sometimes not post than to actually post crap content. Then the matters. So knowing the numbers, that matters. So what are the things, like when you are actually making a content or designing the whole strategy, the digital strategy, what are the numbers that matter to you? So are these the website clicks, are these the followers, are these the likes, are these the shares, are these the number of messages received? So for every kind of product, for every kind of content that you are making, for every different business, these numbers, the importance of a particular number is different, right? And you have to understand first that what kind of numbers will actually reflect your growth. And so is something that the number of followers matter to you, or the number of uh, like website clicks matter to you, or what is that one particular thing that matters? Then it comes to, will you follow your page or account if you were on the other side? So you have to think that why someone will actually follow our page. And when it gets to that, I always ask my teammates that, will you follow this page if you were on the other side? Like, if you are seeing the same content, how likely are you to follow the page, or how likely are you to interact with the page? So their reaction always tells me that how good our content is. Is it engaging? Is it something that really drives them to, just look at it and be happy, be excited about it? Is it that, or is it not? So you always have to first ask yourself. If the answer is no, you are 100% right that it won't work, because you are creating it and you are not liking it yourself. See, how bad is that for any content creator or something? So definitely you have to make sure that if you will follow your page or not. Objective. So the hidden objective is always to sell, but there can be other objectives that I already discussed, that if you're there to build a brand, if you're there to build a community, if you are there to give more information, if you are just there to just for the sake of existence. Sometimes companies do that as well. They're just there that, okay, we are here, we don't post a lot, we don't just tell you things, our product is already good, and just we are just there just to tell you that, oh, we exist. So your objective needs to be clear. The hidden objective is in the end to sell. Ultimately, you have to sell something to them. Then videos work wonder. There's no question to it that the video game is something that all the people are actually looking forward to. Videos are doing great, and everybody, I think, is getting into the video game. So we have to make more and more videos, because it's the content that algorithm loves again. So it's the content that algorithm loves and promotes. So also short videos. So of course, we all know Instagram Reels, we all know TikToks. They are working because of the small span of attention that we human beings have developed over the time. So the short videos give you a variety of content. It's serving the variety, basically. See, it's serving the variety. That is why it is working. So we want to, rather than watching a video for 20 minutes, I can watch 20 other content, or let's say 40 other content of 30 seconds each, and that gives me variety. And a lot of, like, for the TikTok, for Instagram Reels, the purpose is to entertain, right? So I'll be entertained more. So this is the research done by the TikTok people, or the community, basically, why short videos work. So I'm more likely to entertain by 40 videos than watching a single video for 20 minutes, and that is why short videos work. Then three content pillars: the hook, the retainer, the driver. So the hook is something that makes them actually click on your thing. So if it's a carousel, let's say, of 10 slides, what is the first slide? What are you writing, right? If it's a blog, what is making them click? If it's a video, what's the first 3 seconds? What are you saying? So you will always see people saying that three content hacks, three strategies, three ways, five things that let's say President Obama said, or something like that. So they are always the hook. The hook is something that makes people click on that particular thing. Then the retainer is something that will make them actually decide whether they really want to get through the whole content or not. So what is your retainer? The next 2-3 minutes of a long video, the next 10 seconds of a 30-second reel, the first paragraph, the introduction paragraph, or the subheadings of a blog. So what are your retainers? And they need to be very sure, because there the person will decide whether they have to bounce off or retain, or just read the whole thing. And there's a term called bounce off rate when we are actually getting into SEO, which is search engine optimization, and it affects the ranking a lot. So retainers are very important. And then the drivers. Finally, whenever you are making content for a brand or something, you want them to do something. So if you are searching for free video editors online, and if I tell you, okay, download my editor, I am giving you 100 reasons. Okay, my product is best in everything. And in the end, if I miss driving you to my product, the whole thing is waste. So if I say that start editing your videos online for free, here's the link, you are more likely to click on that, because I've served the whole purpose. I've had the right hook, I've had the right retainers, and then I'm driving you to do an action. The drivers are very important. People are more likely to hit on follow button if we ask them to hit on follow button. That is why you always see people saying, do follow our page or do subscribe to our YouTube channel. They say it because the actions, when we are told to do something, we are more likely to do it. So drivers are very important. Then your content is not about you but them. So whenever you are making content, make sure that you are not selling, or you are not just talking about your product or your company, why your company is great, or why you always talk about them. How is it making a difference in their life? How is it actually helping them solve a problem? How your product or your thing is, your service is making their lives easier. So it's about them. So there's this mentor of mine who says that you don't sell to them, you help them buy. And when you help them buy, they are more likely to buy. So even I'll say the same thing applies to your content. So when you are helping them buy with your content, when you are giving them information, when you are entertaining them around your content, they are more likely to buy or trust you. Basically, you have to build trust. Then we tell to talk to them. So talk to them as in talk to your people online. Have channels, basically, where you can actually initiate conversations with them. You can actually talk to them and listen to them, because they are the best critics and the best praises. So they'll tell you what is right with your product, what is wrong. And that particular channel, when you are building content and when you are talking to them, when they have the sense of being heard, they are more likely to stay with you. They are more likely to help you grow. So talk to them also says, like, when I'm making a content, when I'm seeing this, I'm talking to you all, right? So when I'm making content, I'm not like, okay, some people do this. No, you have to do this. That is how you talk to them while you are writing or when you are making a video. So talking to them is also related to this. Then fast, cheap, and viral. So there's this book, I don't know if you are able to see it, Fast, Cheap, and Viral. This is my favorite book in making content, and this is written by Ashish Chopra. He's one of the CMOs of Exigo, a very known startup in India. And so he says that we have to make content which is fast, cheap, and viral. And he also describes how they can do it. And we are very evident examples of someone who has done it for ourselves, for our clients. So he says that first your content needs to be shareable. When people share things, it accelerates. It grows exponentially. I'm going to share it with 10 of my friends that I like, right? So you have to make content which is shareable. Then he works on this IUCTC principle. This IUCTC, I stands for inspiration. So you have to make content that inspires action. Then you stands for useful, something that's useful. Like I'm just telling them something, I'm making a video that is actually useful. I'm giving them 10 hacks to do something, 5 hacks to do something. Then C stands for celebrating lives. When you cannot change a particular thing, you celebrate life. So you will always see people 10 ways like Indians behave in a particular sense. Let's say 10 ways men behave, 10 ways women behave, or something like that. It's always about celebrating the lives of their customers or their consumers or their audiences. Then T stands for topical content. So whenever something is happening, topical content is always also related to moment marketing. If a moment has happened, suppose let's say there's an Holi and I make a video around Holi, it's more likely to work because people are more likely to relate to it. In India, let's say it's Christmas, it's New Year. If I'm making 10 ways you can actually decorate your room, uh, for New Year's, or your home for New Year's, and I'm pitching 3 of my products, it is more likely to gain your attraction. It's more likely to gain traction of people, and it is more likely to work. Then the last C stands for change the world. So are you making something that is actually changing the world on a bigger sense? It's more about serving to the purpose, the bigger purpose that is bigger than the company itself. Something like we are doing. A lot of companies do CSR activities. Other than that, they also go out of the way sometimes to support initiatives. And if you make that content as well, it is more likely to stick with people. Then it's not the engagement but the interactivity. So you have to initiate conversations. So when someone is liking my post, okay, that's good, that's an engagement that I'm getting. But am I giving them channels to interact with me? I'm just going and talking to them on the platforms. When you build a bigger brand, when you have a lot of followers, it's not easy to do, but with some we can do. Or is there a system which actually makes them interact with us? So initiating conversations always build trust again. Then copy shamelessly. So if you see something very good, right? A lot of this is happening right now. When there's a trend, people follow it, people are making the same content and getting a lot of views. Brands are also jumping into that. So copy shamelessly is not something that copy their whole idea, is copying the way they are making something. And if it is working, it is more likely to work for you as well. There's a reason it is getting more likes, it is getting more engagement. There's a reason people are loving it. So copy shamelessly, but have your own touch. Then we move to listen to them. So it also tends to, they are the best critique again. So if you have a good feedback mechanism, if you're talking to them, they are more likely to improve your content game as well. So if you ask them what kind of content, what kind of posts you want to see, what kind of videos do you want us to make, they're more likely to tell you the things. And those kind of people will engage with your content, will interact with your content. So also your customer might buy in a day or in 3 years, build your brand daily. So you have to continuously keep building it and also keep telling them in their subconscious mind that you exist. So like I gave my example that I might not buy a product for a year and I'll just look into the brand, I'll follow it. I might not follow them as well. I know that they exist and they are pitching to me through ads, let's say, or through their content every day, and someday I choose to buy. So the customer might buy in 3 days, or like it will take 3 years for them to buy. But if you're building it continuously, they are more likely to be a customer. So you have to build it daily and then make it simple. So people don't understand complicated things. If I would have written very complicated things here, it would have gone, above your head and you would have like, what is he saying? But I'm sure that I know that I've given this presentation a lot of times, something around the line, not the same thing. Definitely I change it every time for the people and according to the audience. But I've always tried this, making it simple and easy for them to understand, not having complicated things, making it simple, making it attractive, and it works. So make it simple, make it easier for them to understand. Then the power of repurposing. So when I post a content somewhere, and if I post it again on some other platform, I'm more likely to use my content in a better way. So if I'm making a carousel and if I can write an article on it, it will work on the web. If I divide it into content pieces and I post tweets, let's say a thread of tweets, it is more likely to work there. So we have to repurpose the content according to the platform that we are posting. It's not like I made 10 photos and I'll post the same photo on LinkedIn. I'll post the same photos on Instagram. I'll post the same photos on Facebook, and I'll post the same photos on Twitter. It won't work. So we have to respect the particular channel, the particular platform, and it will work. So repurposing has power if done in the right way. Then I have a few more slides. I'll quickly go through it and then we'll end this particular thing. So be consistent with your content. Ultimately, you have to make it daily. Consistency is the key, because then you will be pushed through your limits. So if you put up 20 ideas and you are like, okay, I'm going to post it in 3 months, 20 ideas, you are more likely to produce less creative ideas, because you are not thinking ahead of those 20 ideas that you have planned for next 3 months. What will you do after 3 months? You'll always sit. So but if you are very, like, also in that, also if you are posting 20 ideas or 20 content pieces in 33 months, it's fine, but you have to be consistent on that as well. You cannot post 5 posts in a week and then not post for a whole week. It won't work, because your audience will go away, because the algorithm wants them to be there. So they'll show them the content that they are liking, and they'll show them the creators, or they'll show them the content of other people who are posting regularly, because they're posting regularly. So the algorithm can pitch the same content to them again and again and again and again, and that will serve the purpose, the algorithm's purpose. So you have to be consistent with your content, and it will also improve your content to a very good extent when you will be consistent, because you will be always thinking, what can I do better? How can I get more engagement? Okay, I'm doing 10 things this week, I can do 10 more things the other week, and you will always be consistent with it. Then kill at copywriting. So greatest brands, David Ogilvy, if you know him, he's known as the father of advertising. He says that copywriting is the only skill that makes a marketer, it's the best skill that makes a marketer an amazing marketer. And a lot of brands kill at copywriting. Adidas is there, you will see Nike is there, of course Apple is there, I cannot forget Apple. Samsung has started doing the same thing. All of these brands kill at copywriting. So copywriting is something that has been written, and it has to be, again, simple. And there are whole principles around copywriting that you can learn online, and it's amazing. So whatever you are writing, if you are building your own personal brand, if you are building a brand for a company or anything, you have to be good at copywriting, and you have to kill at it. And you can just explore a lot of good content writers online. You can just go through a lot of courses, a lot of videos that goes around copywriting. There are a lot of books as well. So you have to kill at copywriting. Then your best bet, why should they follow? I've already talked about it. Giving them a reason to follow is very important. That's your best bet, and that's the triangle. This, you're making, and then they have to decide if they have to follow or not. So here is the best bet. So you have to provide your best thing to make them follow. If they don't, if you are not giving them a very strong reason to follow, they'll fall, and you will be on the downside. Then it comes to data is the new oil. Of course, data is the new oil. It's something that is very important in this time, and everyone know how important the value of data is. So what are your channels to accumulate the data that you have? So this also defines to how many email subscriptions do you have, how many contact numbers do you have, where are you engaging with them, and what are the number of, what do you know about your customers, how detailed you have the information about them. So data is the new oil. Then in case, have big ears. So that's me, of course, again, thank you. So have big ears and bigger brain. So you have to listen. You have to be very receptive while you are actually building a brand. So people, it's very easy to write a negative review online than to write a positive one. If 100 people, if you serve 200 people, 90% of them are very satisfied with your product, 2 of them are likely to go on the internet and appreciate you. If one of the 10 people, if 10 people are not happy with you, it's more likely that 5 of those 10 people will go out and put a negative review, because there's a sense of like, I'll tell them what is the power of the internet. They always have this feeling. So have bigger ears. Sometimes you have to be quiet and you have to just listen to improve your product. So this happened with one of our clients that their product was actually not good, and we were getting negative reviews and every time. So we got on to think what is actually not working on our side, and we improved it, and finally people started loving it. So have a bigger brain to actually process what they are saying and why they are posting something. It can be positive, it can be negative. Positives can give you the touch points or the pain points that you are solving, so that you can find more people like them and solve problems for them. Then build for future. So you have to build for future. It's not something that you are posting right now will stay to, like, will disappear in a day. Definitely you have to think that if people are seeing that this after a year, it should make sense to them. Not exact sense, but somewhat sense to them. They should be able to relate to it. And also with metaverse coming and a lot of web3 talks going on, it's already here. So you have to also think of what is the next step for your brand when you are building it digitally. So that is why I mentioned build for future. Then build a family. Again, people who are more likely to stick to your brand. Let me get back to the first slide. Build brands that people love and who love you. Your family. Your family is the first set of people who will love you, right? So build a family. Like your people, these people will actually be advocates. So they'll go out and tell other people that, okay, you should buy from them, you should follow them, they make amazing content, they make amazing, their products are amazing, they are helping us a lot. So you have to build a family, you have to be there for them to actually build a family. So that is why it relates to the very first slide, that why we have to build brands that people love. Then it comes to win over people. So there are two ways. First, you have to tell them that they make a difference in your life. So when you tell someone that you make a difference in your life, they are more likely to be happy about it. Like, oh, I make difference in someone's life. What's bigger than that? And also show them that you care. Don't tell them that you care. Show them. Show with your actions. So if you do these two things, and this is, by the way, my own thing, like this is not said by someone else. This is something that I figured out over the time while having interactions with people, while doing the marketing as well. So if you show them that you care about them and you tell them that they make a difference in your life, they're more likely to, have a positive image of you in their life. And then finally, coming to the last segment, that will be very quick. I know we are running out of time. So things that make sense to me now. And these are the things that absolutely make sense to me after I've worked with companies, I've done a lot of research, I've learned a lot from a lot of people around the internet, around the whole world. And these are the things that make sense to me now. And again, this is something that makes sense to me now. All of them might not make sense to you, or some of them might make sense to you. So yeah, I just tried to put it down that everybody fails. So it's same to marketing. It is the same thing towards content as well. So you will fail, your strategies will fail, and it's fine, because then you have to come up with something that's better, that will not fail. And your failures will make you understand and make it will build a concrete pillar of what not to do. So if a new person joins us, so whenever a new intern comes to our company, we give them this work. Like we tell them that, okay, these are our clients, go and find what you can do, why are we actually not doing something, what you can do. And they come up with things, and then we make them understand, okay, we did this thing, this is what happened, and this is why we think that we should not do it. And if they might come up with something better, that, oh, why don't you try something like this? So because we have experienced something, we are more likely to try a new solution, or we are more likely to avoid another failure. So everybody fails, and it's fine to fail. Then creating good content is not easy. So a lot of companies that come to us always say, oh, what is there to make 10 posts? And we tell them, okay, give us ideas of 10 posts. Most of them stop at 9. The max that someone has gone is 9 with us. So it's always, you feel like that it's very easy to make, but it's very hard to be to create good content that people like. Then not everybody is your customer. Again, I've already talked about it. Then you cannot just make a bad product. You just cannot just market a bad product. So sometimes it's not the marketing that's not working, it's the product. So you have to think, like when I said that you have to have big ears and bigger brains, you have to just go down to the team, the core team, and you are like, okay, this is not working. Maybe it's something at, the product that we need to change. So sometimes you cannot market a bad product. then the best ideas might come out of nowhere. So if you'll ever get a chance to visit our page, there's a video that we shot recently, and the best ideas might come out of nowhere is that one of my interns actually came up to me and said, okay, we can make a content like this. And from her example, from her reference, we made something else, we made it into a video, but that was inspired by what she said, right? So we didn't know that she'll come to us and she'll guide us someday, but the best ideas might come out of nowhere. And it's the most watched video, and a lot of people loved it. A lot of people, we got a lot of work after that video. So definitely the best ideas might come out of nowhere. The customer is the boss. You have to listen to them. If they are not there, if they are not satisfied, they'll do everything possible to make your lives hell online. So they'll just go out on every other platform and they'll be like, okay, this company, this is the bad review, their product is bad, their quality is bad or something. So you have to listen to them. They are the boss, you are not the boss. Then marketing is evident, but branding is smart. So if you are going to market your products, people will see that you are trying to market, give them offers, give them discounts, tell them why their product is better. Branding is something that you feed in them. Branding is something that the question that I asked, why do you love a particular brand? You don't have a particular answer to it, but you love it because you have been fed. You have been the information, the emotions have been fed in you over the years, over the time, and that is why branding is smart. And while doing branding, you have to be smart. You have to get to their nerves and make them believe in your product. So marketing is very evident, branding is always smart. Then building something that people think they would have done too is the goal. So sometimes people are like, oh, we could have done that as well, I could have done that as well. What is something that they are doing new? So but they haven't done it, you have done it. So when you make it so simple that people think that they would have done it too, your you have already gotten, because they already believe in that, they already believe in that particular idea. So you're already, you have that kickstart. Okay, this is something that people think that they can do. Then thinking of the right content is not easy again. That is like creating good content is not easy. So thinking of the right content, then good content can be, different. Is this right for my brand or not? You have to be very analytical. You have to be very critical of this particular thing, that okay, is this right to go? Does it suit my brand? Does it suit the company that I'm working for? And creativity can be, a lot of people say that I'm born creative, but a lot of a lot of actually creative people have, talked about it. And I also believe that creativity can be practiced. It's not something that is by birth. Yeah, of course, some people are gifted with it, some people are creative, but if you think that you are not creative, if you work on it, if you really go out and practice things up, practice how, understand the psychologies, understand how content works, you will be more likely to be more creative. So creativity can be practiced. It's not something that is, oh, I'm not creative and you just leave it. It's not something like that. Then coming to great customer support is the best way to build a brand, because ultimately it's about the customer satisfaction. If they are, how easy it is. So we don't work, basically we use payment gateways of a certain company, which charges us higher but has a better customer readdressal system, and that has a better feedback system, that has a better support. So if you have a better support, because ultimately you are solving their problems around the product. So if you go to a customer, you are more likely to buy less if you have a very bad customer support. And that goes to online also. So that is why you will always see that if you tweet about something, their team will tweet you back in a minute and they're like, what is the problem? Because they don't want to ruin it. And they know that their customer support is very important. So they have, this whole companies have very large customer support systems. Then empathy. So one of my mentors taught me that empathy is the biggest thing. So if you empathize, and I've written nothing on it. So if you empathize with your customers, if you're consumers, you are more likely to understand their problems better. So even if you're making content, if you're doing the marketing thing, I'm not saying building a product, just building a product. Even if you're doing marketing, if you empathize with their problems, you're more likely to relate to it. You're more likely to build content that relate to their particular problems or something around them, their emotions, and you are more likely to get them love your content, love your brand, engage with it, feel the whole emotion, and just be there with you. Then build something that is not just platform dependent. Again, what if you are building a base on Instagram and it's gone? your account is deactivated for any reason and they're not giving it back. Every follower is gone. So build something that is not just platform dependent. Build your email list, build your contact list, make them subscribe to our, or divert them to other platforms as well. Some of them to LinkedIn, Twitter. There are communities on Telegram, there are communities on Discord. So something. Then the best way to learn is from others. So I'll not say the best way to learn from yourself. I'll say the best way to learn is from others, because they have done their the whole process, and they're more likely to tell you the better things that they fail at. So you might have a solution to their failures, but definitely you will know that, okay, if I do something like this, someone has failed this way. So you are more likely. And how can you find them? You can find them on LinkedIn, talk to people, ask them questions. You can read books. So best of things that I have learned, or that my whole entire team has learned, is from books, is from podcasts, it's from interviews, it is from people. So like when I was making this whole PPT as well, there are things that have been taken from marketers on Twitter. So I'm a very active Twitter user, so I just follow them. So a lot of things basically are taken from them, their perspectives as well. Then you will never be the best. So if you are in the race to be the best, and again, Simon Sinek gives this example for Apple versus Samsung. So he went to take a talk in the Samsung office, and the whole conversation was around how their products are better than Apple, how can they make them better, and everything. No, I guess it was Windows. Okay, I don't remember the exact name, Windows or Samsung. So the conversation was about being better than Apple. And when he went to Apple, the Apple was talking about how they are making lives better, how they are changing lives, how they are launching the new projects, how they are actually, impacting people. So it was about their race. Their competition was not the other people. Their competition was themselves. They wanted to be better than themselves. So if you are being better, so you'll never be the best. Someone will come and make something better. So if you think that, okay, Samsung has some features which is better than Apple has some features that is better than Samsung, but if they'll get into a race of being better than Samsung, they'll not be able to make something better. And a brand like OnePlus can come and disrupt the whole market that they did. So it's not about just being best among the group. It's being just better than what you were a day before. Then people only believe in what makes sense to them. So makes sense. So if all the things that I've said is something that does not make sense to you, definitely you are not going to believe it, and you will forget it after an hour. That's the max you can retain my content. So I try to make sense by making points. I try to make sense by giving examples. And so people only believe in what makes sense to them. So when you are making content, or if you are making branding, if you are doing the digital marketing thing, so make sense to them. Don't give them things that they don't believe in. Then believe in your instincts. Your instincts are always right when we are into marketing. So believe in them. Sometimes try on that. Calculate the risk of going with your instincts, and or having your instinct as an alternative as well sometimes work. So believe in your instincts, know what you are speaking about, and that will definitely make you a better digital marketer. I would not say marketer, but digital marketer or content marketer. Basically, that's what we are doing right now. So something like that. So that's all about it. I hope I made sense to you, first of all. And thank you everyone for being amazing listeners. I know the slides were actually not visible in between, but I'll share it with Parshu, and she'll share it with you as well. If there's anything that if you find it interesting, do let me know as well. And if you have any questions, anything, definitely we are having a question and answer session after this. But still, if you find it, you cannot talk to me here, you can anytime, just ping me, and I'll always be there. So I love talking to people. So tell me your story.